told you yesterday that American Airlines has canceled nearly 300 flights this week, but the airline's troubles don't stop there. New figures show barely half of Americans' flights have arrived on time in September.
American Airlines claims pilots calling in sick are causing many of the problems. CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg joins us now. Welcome.
Good morning.
So tell me, how bad is it?
Well, let me give you some numbers here. On a normal day, you might have 100 delays. Yesterday, you had 547 delays at American Airlines. In August, the on-time arrival rate would be 74%. You know what it is so far in September? About 54%. So it's a significant decrease.
And you talked to some of the pilots?
Well, here's the problem. Labor relations at American have been acidic for a long time. The pilots have worked without a contract for 9 years. The real catalyst was when American sent out furlough letters saying to 11,000 employees, you may be laid off as a result of our bankruptcy. That was really what pulled the trigger on this latest move by the pilots. Now, we talked to the pilots union, their spokesman, and this is what he said.
I can tell you unequivocally, there's absolutely no job action that is being orchestrated or sanctioned or being led by the pilots union. What I do think that you're seeing is you're seeing the result of what happens to the operation when you have a huge employee group that is very unhappy. So our pilots are operating without the protections and the benefit of a contract. You have a lot of workers out there, and it's not limited to just the pilots, that are uncertain about the future of this airline, and they are terribly unhappy with their relationship with management because of having them drive us into bankruptcy when after we've made all these concessions 10 years ago.
And that's the problem, because the airline's claiming it's the pilots claiming there's no contract, and you got a real problem here.
Nora?
Peter, we should show what the American Airlines said in a statement. They said this: the recent disruptions are primarily due to the significant increase in maintenance write-ups by our pilots, many right at the time of departure. It seems like American is saying that the pilots are engaged in some sort of effort to cause these delays.
Well, you know, they may have a point here, except the airline union, the pilots union is saying it's not us at all, it's a group of rogue pilots. And let me give you some background here. The flight attendants have already signed their contract with American, but they did so saying they have no vote of confidence in management. The ground workers have signed their contract. The pilots union recommended that the pilots sign their contract, and guess what happened? The pilots overwhelmingly rejected that and said, we don't like this at all. I was on 2 American flights this week. Both were not on time. They both had mechanical problems, quote unquote, at the time of departure. The first mechanical problem I had was the pilot said he wasn't happy with the way his seat felt. And we waited an hour while they fixed his seat. So,
and what do you call that in labor relations?
A slowdown.
Yes. Yeah, Nora.
And so, Peter, bottom line, should people fly American?
You know what? This is not a safety issue. The problem is it's an inconvenience issue. If you have those kind of delays, look, it's a good idea if they write up the maintenance problems, but if you have those kinds of delays at 54% arrival problems, that's almost a little bit less than half of your flights not showing up on time. You have to take that into consideration. Safety, not an issue.
How does all this affect Americans' desire to emerge from bankruptcy?
They need to cut $1 billion in costs, they say, before they can come out of bankruptcy. But they really can't come out of bankruptcy effectively unless they have signed consensual contracts with their unions. They got 2 out of 3 now. The pilots are the last remaining ones, and they're going to the wall on this.
Peter, as always, great to see you.